What is going on? I'm Zedmot. We're going to be doing some more Warships goodness. Still working on that main base. I realize I'm not very far along as far as the upgrades go, so trying to keep those upgrades going bit by bit as my sculptor just completely and utterly whiffs on the sculptures. That was pathetically bad. I realize I spend a little bit of time on the main base in these videos. I like to use that as my starting point for whatever reason now. It might look like I'm parked, but nope, not yet. Every season I've parked by now. Need that powder desperately, as you just saw in the image I just showed you, but nope, we're going to keep moving. And the reason for that is I just got this next prototype node, and that is very, very important. Damage amplifier, incredibly appealing. Note it's a damage amplifier 3. Most of the time we get the damage amplifier 1 or 2. I'm going to go a little bit contrarian, though, and go for Shock Blaster. One other thing I've noticed is that people have gotten this Sky Shield node and switched the previous Sky Shield node, this one back way over here. No, anyways, people have switched one of the nodes to be a Doom Cannon, so they end up with 2 Doom Cannons and 2 Sky Shields, so keep that in mind. I'm going to go for the Shock Blaster. Now, yesterday's video, I went and got the rocket launchers. I have now switched that to be Boom Cannons. Scorchers are an issue, so if you're thinking about what to do when you get this node, consider starting with Boom Cannons. Rocket launchers don't seem to be as useful. I am going to build a clump base, but the clump base that I'm going to build is not the one with the 2 Sky Shields in the middle and the damage amplifier, even though that is also tempting. I'm going to pause here and just start throwing things into position, and you can see what my plans are. I'm copying a base off the leaderboards. Surprise, surprise. So back in just a second with a little bit more details on the base. Okay, so I've started with the outside corners because I find those to be incredibly interesting. I like that there's a shock blaster underneath this sky shield on that right-hand side. This base, by the way, was recommended to me by none other... Oh, we dropped a little bit. Stoneheart. Stoneheart was ranked 15 global until just recently. Look at that win percentage, 66% at Legendary 1. Absolute beast. Second highest win percentage up there, it looks like. Just at third, fourth, fifth, sixth highest win percentage, just absolutely crushing it. So when someone like that speaks, kind of like an Orion or any of the other people in our Discord and Telegram chats, worth listening to for sure. I really like these side bits though. I find those to be incredibly interesting, and the fact there's a shock blaster there will pose all sorts of people that are going for this middle clumpy base. Also will potentially draw some of their troops over to the left. Maybe they drop some here, or they drop some over here, which will split their buildings, hopefully. Anyways, I'm going to get back to building back in a few milliseconds. All the engine rooms are in place. I love that Doom Cannon in the corner because it's going to pick off some troops that decide to go left as well. Rocket launcher in the corner, also helping protect that right-hand side. We'll keep on building, though. I don't know about you guys, but I find it incredibly frustrating when I'm copying a base. Then I look down, and this boom cannon is supposed to be over here, and I have made a drastic mistake in my measurements and changes, and I got to go back and move all of the buildings a little tiny bit because I managed to skip over something or forget something. So that is what I'm doing right now, and it's definitely frustrating, but every time this comes up, I greatly, greatly appreciate the fact that all of the developers threw those lines on the shore. Without those lines on the shore, building a base would be just so incredibly, incredibly difficult. So I think I've said this every single time I've built a base, but Supercell, one thing that you did well that was so underrated is all of these lines on the shore. And I have lines in the shore videos for the main base and for operation attacks and things like that, but for warships, they are just so incredibly, incredibly useful. So thank you very, very muches. Okay, so I stumbled upon something interesting in this base. You'll see I haven't placed my mortars. This top player is actually using flamethrowers instead of mortars, and that makes a lot of sense because people are using riflemen and or critters and or scorchers. So we've got 7 boom cannons to deal with all of the Scorchers, but they have changed this choice node. That's not a choice node, by the way. They have changed the early choice node that I've completely forgotten about to be flamethrower. So I'm going to spend some of those diamonds, pick up the flamethrowers now. This is not something that's required. It's just, I want to copy this base. I want to see how it does. I may very well be moving back to mortars, but I found it very interesting that they actually changed that early choice node, which I haven't thought about in weeks, hours, days, whatever the heck the timeline is. I found that to be interesting. Now, quick note, I think I forgot to mention it in this video. I started another video and then restarted. So over here, you'll see building health. 7 engine rooms is an absolute beast. Let's just show you what the deck looks like. If we look at the top global players, I think most of them are at 7 engine rooms at this point. Look at this deck. Look at these bases. 150% troop health, 250% building health, 250% building health. That is insane. Like, look at these engine rooms. They are sitting at 175,000 health. Shock launchers with, so what's that, 57,000 health? Absolute beasts. So do keep in mind that if you're thinking about getting to diamond or farther, do it soon, because if you're not there yet, this kind of base is going to crush your soul. They are so incredibly powerful. Just do keep that in mind as I place the rest of my mines. All the mines are placed. So hard to find them all, of course. I assume there should be some hidden by this here warships trophy. That should be about there. But honestly, I just don't know at this point. So this is the base we're going to go with. I'm going to try to do some attacks. I can't promise that things are going to go terribly well, because I've done a total of this many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 engine room attacks, and as you can see, still not terribly good. This was just I left 6 engine rooms up. I think, Driver Dude, I think you are on my YouTube comments list. If so, please hide my attack and don't show it to anyone. Anyways, let's get in, try to stay in diamond. I'm probably going to follow to diamond and then end this video in shame, but we're just going to see how this base stands up. So let's have a look-see. They have a similar base, almost exact replica base. Now, they have only 1, 2, 3... They don't have the extra boom cannons, which is going to be a godsend at the moment. So should be able to cruise in. I think I'm going to use this right-hand side. I think that's a better route to get in here. Let's go Bombardier, Everspark. We're going to hold for a second. I'm going to come over into about this neighborhood. The reason for not bringing all the rest of my troops quite yet is that Everspark's critters should distract all of their sniper tower. And then I'm going to come over into here. That's going to get some of my troops split out a little bit. And then I'll drop my last remaining Scorcher, keeping it on that right-hand side. And now throwing our ever so important first shock, getting those critters out, getting some of our troops in there, and then we'll drop that last boat of riflemen right about there. This value shock right here, getting that front boom cannon, I figure should be fairly useful to us. And then as soon as that goes down, we're going to throw a hack out there right now. I was really hoping to get that left-hand side boom cannon that I think was still up the front, but didn't manage to do it. So now, just cruising on in. As soon as that front machine gun is down, we're going to throw another hack, which should get the boom cannon, which should be very valuable for us. That front hack was so important and so good. Gonna get us all the way in on that shock launcher, and then look at this. We're gonna throw some critters out front, keeping Everspark alive. Cruising. We are absolutely cruising right now, doing all sorts of good things. So really liking this attack so far. That right-hand side shock blaster is such a pain in the butt, but I think we should still be able to cruise on in and get those left-hand side engine rooms as our troops sneak over against those other engine rooms. So we've already managed to pick up the win. Now we just need to get rid of that shock blaster, and then get the heck away from that boom cannon. Look at this. Done like dinner. Cruise through all their engine rooms. Very, very happy with that attack. I love it when things go according to plan, because they don't often. And look how much gunboat energy we have left over. Now, I should be showing you my tech tree because I don't have max level artillery. That's why you only see me use artillery to clear mines for the most part. But gotta say, very, very happy with that attack. Partially because it's a win, partially because it guarantees me that I'm going to be able to get that next chest. Or I guess almost guaranteed. I hope I should be able to get 2 engine rooms, and also it means that even if I lose 10 stars, I'm still in diamond. So this video is already a massive, massive win. Tech tree related, my mechs show as level 3, but they are actually maxed, which is useless to me now. And by the way, my next goal, sorry, skipping ahead, Kavan, bringing back pink zombie scorchers and bringing back 10 rifles in the same second wind, super critical. You see, I have 2.7 million tokens. I went ahead and maxed that gunboat energy because you can never have too much gunboat energy, except for on the Mega Crab sometimes. Also, I went back and spent some tokens to get my medkit up to level 3. Tick 3, it's cheap to get there, and then after that it's 100,000. So medkit is tempting, but not as tempting as it should be, possibly. So let's do one more attack. I'm on cloud 9, I gotta say. It's sunny outside, and I managed to get a win. Let's see what this person has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have the extra boom cannons, and they have the damage amplifier. Need to be far more careful with this base, I feel like. But at the same time, we should be able to get Everspark's critters. I think there's got to be a mine there somewhere, right? Nope, no mine. So we are going to drop Everspark first. She's going to get some critters out. Then I'm going to drop a couple, same exact sort of idea. Waiting on a couple little details, just because Everspark's critters going to keep that sniper tower occupied as our bombardiers come in and our rifles come in, and then we'll send the rest of our troops to here. So gonna spread our bombardiers out a little bit. Also going to spread out our scorchers a little bit, but keeping them on that right-hand side, because that right-hand side still scares me a lot. So I think this is probably the best shock spot right there. Hoping to get 2 shock launchers and the shock blaster. Like, that was all of the value right there, my friends. And then again, keeping that shock spot exactly the same, getting the shock blasters and the shock launchers. Man, I love that shock. I loved it so much that I forgot to drop my troops, which is going to be a little bit of a problem. But just keeping that shock pumping through, getting those shock launchers down, getting all sorts of critters out there at the same time. Starting to lose our scorchers though, so we're starting to get into dangerous territory. But look, here comes the cavalry. In come our friends, the rifles, at about the perfect time. Not exactly perfect, but pretty darn close. Look at this. I actually dropped my troops at the right time for the first time in a long time, so pretty darn stoked on that. All of our riflemen coming in, distracting all of those defenses. And now, speaking of distracting defenses, on that right-hand side, we're going to drop some critters. That should be very useful. Getting all of the engine rooms, maybe, just maybe. We're going to find out here pretty darn soon. That was left-hand side. Definitely could use some critters to distract that boom cannon. And now, looky what we've managed to pull off here, folks. Starting to get that left-hand side action complete. Those critters still doing great things. Come on, get the boom cannon, get the... Yes, look at this. Just need a med kit, and I am incredibly stoked right now. We are going to get all of the engine rooms yet again, all by being patient, and I held those rifles on the right-hand side like a second too long, but overall that super duper value shock in the middle paying off big time. So I'm stoked. 2 wins in diamond with the new base. Base holding up. What did they get? They got 3 engine rooms. They got 3 engine rooms. I got 12. So super stoked. I will attack a little bit more because that's the easiest way for me to get Kavan right now, is just to push into tier 22. And if we're winning, you might as well keep attacking. So that is my 6 engine room detail of the day. Quick review. Might want to consider spending some of those 29 diamonds you get every single day just to get those flamethrowers. Also, damage amplifier, super duper appealing, but that double shock blaster in the middle, shock blaster on the side. You know what? Let's show one replay. Let's show Koinenbachscher. I'm guessing that's a German name. Let's just see how the base is holding up and how people are attacking it. Like I said, assumed they would go to that right-hand side. Right-hand side makes a lot of sense. Bringing all 8 boats, and they have Cryoneers. I have heard of people using Cryoneers. This is the first time I've seen it. Getting that right-hand side engine room, and then look how fast all of their Scorchers are just getting absolutely melted. So great news on our front. Base holding up. Those 3 left-hand side engine rooms doing great things. They almost got a lot more. That was incredibly close, but a win is a win is a win. So as per always, please consider throwing code ZMOT in your creator boost in every single Supercell game. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think about that base, if you'll be spending diamonds on the mortars, and otherwise, as always, thanks for coming in. Keep booming those beaches. I'm ZMOT. Thanks for coming in. Peace.